Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and yep, you've got it, it's that time again people, it's Margarete Miller time, and we are getting so close to the finish line on this. It's such an achievement, it's such a chunky monkey there. Right, I'm going to think it's, 48, I wasn't 100% certain about that, I must admit. So let's just pop this up and have a bit of a look. That's what we're looking at today. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Cardiff today. I was debating, should I be in the garden doing stuff? Because there's a few things I need to do in the garden to get it ready for winter, to be honest. And I bought, it's almost like a raised bed, but it's on a table, and I want to plant my strawberries in it because I've got strawberries in baskets along my wall, and to be honest my strawberries keep generating more strawberry plants, so I thought I want to have a bit of a strawberry bed. I can't have it in the garden because the dogs will eat all the strawberries, so I needed something raised, so I want to build that, and I'm just like, ooh, so you're nearly lost out, but I went, nah, let's get on, let's keep this challenge going. Okay, so what did I pull through for this? Right, mushroom. I had an Edith Holden. I have a sticker book which I must have picked up on Etsy or somewhere. Don't know where I got that from. And then over to my right, I've got them on a glass table. I've got a whole load of mushroom stickers just stuck over there because I'm not sure what I'm doing with them. I've just put them all within arm's reach so I can get them. An illustration from a children's book. We don't really have a lot of children's books, but I did find this in sort of an anime cartoon book, and I quite like that, and I like the whole sadness about that. So this could become quite a melancholy one, but I'm not really sure. So we'll see. Right, something that's a zigzag. Okay, I found this sticker that is definitely a zigzag. However, when I was going through my stuff, I also found this. It's not one stamp set. I can't even get into it. It's not one stamp set. It's a selection of stamp sets, and it's all stitching. I'm trying to pull it out. If I could pull it out, it would really be helpful. So let's do it that way around. So as you can see, there's lots of different stitches on this. I think this one was a Stamperia. Actually, let's see. The red one is Stamperia, but I can't remember what the clear ones are from. So I've got zigzag on there. So we could be doing some faux stitching around areas. I'm unsure of that yet. I'm not really sure how my brain's going to put that into this design until this design starts being a design, if all that makes sense to anyone whatsoever. A dried leaf or a dried flower. Well, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, I opened up my flower press and I thought, should I use real flowers in this or not? And I thought, no, because I'm saving them for a digital for you guys. However, I laid some of the ferns down on my scanner, and then I took a bit of paper that was from the inside of the Edith Holden that we were using on the last spread and scanned it. As you can see, the colour isn't exactly the same, but you know what? I like that. That will, if I tear that correctly, I might be able to tear it down there and there'll be two elements on the page. But I like that, and that's, I mean, if you look, those are really quite cool actually. Those are just ferns from my own garden, and I just scanned them in. Well, I photocopied them, I should say, not scanned them, photocopied them. Something loud. Again, Margarete's putting prompts in that don't seem to fit. All of this seems to be very natural, botanical, and then you put loud in there. So the loud is a bit of a conundrum for me. So what I did is I pulled out some napkins and a violin, and I thought, you know what? The music is loud, so that was how I got around that. I was looking for a drum, or I was looking for a trumpet, and that's as close as I could find. I'm not sure. I've got a feeling I'm probably going to use the violin because the colour on this is just too bright, but the violin, once it's on there, might just blend into the background in some way. Let's see. And what was the last one? The last one is a quote. Well, I pulled out a couple of things that I'd torn out from a book. It says, moths only come out at night, and it's better to be punctual than to be sorry. And I did happen to find this in a sticker book, and I went, you know, moths only come out at night, might work. It's better to be punctual than sorry. That's sort of, you already know my views on that, so that might just come somewhere on the page. It might tie in with this little person is waiting and that person's running late. You know me in stories. We'll see where we go with that. So I'm just going to get on with it. I've got the usual partners in crime: scissors, smoother or scraper, tear ruler, glue. And I pulled out another one because this one's beginning to feel really light. So I think I'm running low on that. And looking at my stockpile, I've only got one more glue left. So I think I need to actually order some glue and glue book. Now I normally go to my local store and just pick up glue. But I really do think I should start looking at maybe buying glue in not bulk. Bulk sounds like a huge word. But maybe boxes of like 10 or 20 or something, because I'm paying about £2.50 for a tube of this, or a stick of this, and I go through probably one of these a week at least. So I think I need to put my financial head on and go, right, I need to find a newer way to do that. So, right, let's just get on with this. I think what we're going to do straight away is I'm going to put, I know the Scotch, should I use that? I wasn't going to use that side, but it seems a waste to not have that on the page. Script or writing is not one of the prompts, but then we know we can add anything we want, wherever we want. So I'm just going to actually see if I can do it the width of that. That might be helpful to me. Not the best place to tear. Right, let's get that stuck on there. Let's do something different with that so it's unpredictable down there. And we might just hold this in the parking lot because I'm not sure, I might use this somewhere else. Yes, because I'm going to play around with lots of bits on this. So let's put this in the parking lot, as I said. So, yes, as you heard me say, absolutely stunningly brilliant. Oh, as predicted, it ran out on the first couple of swipes. I can feel it rubbing away, and it's become very, very stringy. Yeah, I think this is probably the, yeah, it's dead. Well, there you go. I'm glad I foresaw that one happening. So, yes, as I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful autumn day here. We've had rain for days, literally rain, rain, rain all the time. So, I'm happy for the rain, but I'm happy for the shine as well. So, I feel that's actually on the edge of that page. It's not. There you go. Let's get the smoother on that one. So that's absolutely lovely. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the nice weather. I know we've not had a hugely hot and bright summer, but which doesn't bother me because I don't like the heat. I mean, I'm very often asked where's my favourite place in the world, and my favourite place is Alaska. So that'll sort of tell you about my sunbathing. You won't find me doing it. Sorry, trying to concentrate and do that at the same time. So yeah, I feel we haven't had our summer, but I like a summer that's warm but got a bit of a breeze. I think that's probably the best way to actually describe what I like as a summer's day. Okay, right, what else needs to go on here? I seem to not have pulled out too many pages of other things, which I think is not a problem. Right, I'm looking at one of these and thinking, will you go across? And there's always our friend Washi that can get involved with any of this at any point. I mean, it's all within arm's reach. Well, arm's reach. I've got to get past the carts which are over there and over to the bookcase because I mounted them in the end, all my Washis on the side of one of my big bookcases. Actually, I might do another craft room tour next year. I know you've all seen the craft cave. However, as with everything over time, things change. Or especially with artistic spaces, I find that even though you set up your area in a way in which you think works best for you, the room then decides where things should be. So things migrate, things move around, things don't get put by, and that's one thing, or things keep being put in the same area, and then that same area eventually just becomes the home for that thing. So I quite like that little one in the corner. So yes, so that's pretty much what's happening in the craft cave. I photocopied this onto presentation card, by the way, because the presentation card gives me a better colour once it's completed. Right. I know that's a little predictable, but I really do quite like the balance. I'm beginning to see that a lot in the work I do, that for me balance is really important in a creation. And there's nothing wrong with balance whatsoever. So I'll just tear that one down. I've been reading through your comments and answering as much as I possibly could. Although I do suspect that it's funny, when you have a YouTube channel, you'll find something interesting happens in December. The amount of comments you get drops off from about the second week of December all the way up until approximately, I would say, Boxing Day or the day after Christmas. Then there'll be a huge spike just after Christmas, and then there'll be about a week where there'll be a huge amount of comments, and then it'll level back off to normal, because I think what it is everyone's running around doing Christmas shopping or final planning or whatever they're doing for Christmas, which is wonderful, and they get so caught up in that they don't have time for YouTube. Then of course when the public holidays start and the festivities have just passed their climax, and everyone sits down with a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever they want at Christmas, and then they start to actually watch their YouTubes again. So I find that quite an interesting observation. I think I'm liking her up there, and all of a sudden it's a her, so I don't know whether it's meant to be a her. Do I like that there? I like that there, because whatever it is, you can look down to there. I'm wondering whether I want to... I don't need that bit on there, and it's bothering me that it's just slightly too large, but I don't want to cut her feet off either. So, but I don't mind it being, and I don't mind taking a bit off the bottom of there too, because I would rather see my fern. That's better for me. I think that's a better fit. What do you think? I still have not looked into doing YouTube lives. Well, that's a lie. I've sort of quickly watched a video on YouTube on how to do them. I think my YouTube is set up to do them, but I'm being a bit of a coward. And I think I've written in the diary for next year, and I've gone, right, we really do need to nail this one, because it would be nice to maybe just create a collage spread in my art stroke glue book with you guys along as a journey, on the journey with me, and actually be able to talk to you. Wouldn't that be a novelty? Right, okay, I've got a few pieces that need doing. Actually, I need a few pieces down here. I wonder whether... I thought that might be the case. Right, let's just tear this down a tad. Tear that bit off there. So yes, I'm trying to be brave about that, but I know that everyone says, oh yes, we embrace change, we like change. I think that's a whole load of hooey. I certainly don't embrace it. Well, when change happens, I then embrace it, but I don't like the idea of change. I'm a creature of habit, because that's probably why I like journaling. I'm a list maker. I'm a planner. My brain will go through every single scenario of what I'm about to do before I actually do it. And that's just purely, that's absolutely, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a benefit, because I'm not very often surprised by things because I planned for everything, but then that can be slightly stifling as far as your creativity goes. But I've just admitted to that's what I do. However, I will do things on the spur of the moment, and I'll go with the muse, and I'll take a chance if I feel it's right. So I'm sort of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde when it comes like that. I tend to just do whatever I need to do. It's an odd one. I wouldn't say I understand what I'm doing, but I just do what I'm doing. Right. Do I want... Maybe I don't want a straight line. Maybe I want a torn line on that one. That was almost in the right place. Let's tear a little bit more off there. And then I might actually put a bit of vintage photo on the edge of that, just to start bringing in the grunginess of it. And I need that torn across there. Right, let's get the old vintage photo on the go. In my last video, I'm sure, yeah, it was the last one, I was talking about the Tim Holtz makers and who are they and whatever. And I was watching Tim again last night because, I don't know, I just happened to be watching what I think I was watching his Christmas launch or something. And he did mention in there that there's an ideology blog where all of the makers are listed and it gives details on them. So I went and had a look, but all I could find was, yes, there was about 6 or 7 people, actually maybe more than that, maybe about 10 people listed, which was kind of what I was looking for. But the only links they had were to things like, what am I trying to say here, Instagram and stuff like that. There wasn't really links to YouTube or anything like that. So I tried doing a bit of a search, still not really found them. So I don't know. I will keep looking. I will keep looking. And it's not 100% essential that I do get that anyway, but it's just something I thought I'd like to look at. Right, let's start working my way down. I know I've got to cover that up with something, but I know there's tons of stuff going on this page still. Now, I am thinking that I want to get this on the page first. And although the music going on diagonals bothers me, it doesn't bother me that much. And I don't mind that. I think I need to fussy tear around the edge of that, just so it's not as predictable as a diagonal line. This again was a bit of rice paper off a bigger sheet. It wasn't Stamperia. I think I possibly bought this before I discovered Stamperia. And now I'm a complete Stamperia person. I mean, I love their rice papers, absolutely adore their rice papers. If things go to plan, I intend going to Creativation in 2022. And I'm really, really hoping Stamperia is going to be there, and I'm going to be quite ballsy. And I'm going to say to them, can I be on your design team? Because I would quite like to be on that design team. But I don't want to use everything Stamperia uses, but I would definitely, if they're looking for somebody to promote their rice papers, and actually some of their paper packs, well, not some, all of their paper packs are stunning, but I would be quite happy to promote Stamperia rice paper. As I use it anyway, it's not a mystery. I mean, it is exactly what I'm using in my work, and I use it on many, many different mediums. Right, I've got this little bit here, which I think I'm just going to put across there. I need to just take that little touch of that off and get it unstuck from my finger. Because this, I would rather a loud violin than the music napkin, because the more I look at the music napkin, the more it's just not the right colour. It's just, it would bother me if I went ahead and put it on here. I can already tell this is wrong. It's just, so that will just go into the parking lot, and it'll go back into the napkin and tissue box, and I've got glue all over my fingers already, and we've hardly even started. Right, I'm going to have to trim that little bit off in a second, because if I don't, it's going to pull my focus all the way through. So, I was watching a video today. I can't remember who it is again. Me and names, I tell you. I was watching a video today on doing digital backgrounds using digital elements, which is kind of where I want to go. I want to start using my own photography to create digitals, to be able to create digital downloads for you guys, because I've never really fancied doing things that are free downloads to create other downloads, if that makes sense. And that's what a lot of creators do, and they do a fabulous job. And I am going to, in the future, have to do it at some point, because, so I'm looking for one of these stickers to use, because there are only certain things that I will ever have access to with my camera. So there will come a time when I'm going to run out of stuff I want. That's the one I wanted to use, I think. I'm going to run out of stuff that I can actually use. Oh, actually, that one's quite nice as well. I think I like that one better. So I don't know. I'm not against it. I would just like to offer you guys stuff that was 100% unique. Oh, that was quite nice. That's a bit pink though. I've already used some of these, so this isn't the only stickers in this book. I've used some earlier on. I've used them. I've had this a while ago, but if you need to look, that's what it was called. Good luck with finding out what the website is. But yeah, I'm sure if you actually put in washi stickers and put mushrooms or champignon, which champignon is French for mushroom, I believe. So there you go. That's what I use that for. I think I'm going to absolutely just pop that on that page. Let's move those two to the side. I'm going to need to tear this across because there's a bit of a faint print line, which I don't want. And also I think I want to tear down this side because I don't want that either. So where was I at? So yes, I'd quite like to talk to Stamperia, because I mean, I could apply to them online maybe to become part of their design team, but I'm one of these people, I like to talk to people in person, face to face. I'm not really one of those that drops someone an email. I'm sort of the generation where I just like to talk to people in person. I can gauge a lot from a person by looking them in the eyes and seeing where the conversation goes, because I don't want to go up to them and up to Stamperia and go, oh, can I be on your design team? I want to talk to them first and have a bit of a chat to get the feel for the company. Does that make sense to anyone? I think it probably does. Get a feel for the company and get a feel for how they work and see if it fits in with what I like to do, and whether, oh, that was a good one, I got that off. You know my problems with sticky stuff. I'm going to put glue stick on the back of this, because as you know, I always put glue stick on the back of anything that's washing. Well, in fact, I put glue stick on the back of most stuff, which is probably why I go through so much glue stick. Right. I mean, I don't need to put it all over. Slightly annoyed that there's something stuck to there. There you go, I got that off. So yes, so that's one of my plans for next year, is I need to be a little braver about approaching companies and going, oh, I like that there, I really do like that there. Going that I would like to be part of a design team for certain things. Now, there is a loophole or a problem sometimes with design teams. You can be in too many design teams, and then you have no time for yourself to be a designer. I'm already part of the design team. Well, I'm part of several design teams for KTC Designs because I license my name to them. I'm wondering, because I quite like that word there. Let me just tear that out and see what I can do with it. I'm part of their Flower Pro design team, although I am stepping down from that because I'm finding that I'm not having enough time in my schedule to dedicate that to that, because that Flower Pro is a system of making clay flowers with molds and veiners, and although it's wonderful and I create some amazing pieces with it, I do find that it really does eat into my time. I'm quite liking the toadstools and I quite like that, but I think I want to move that to another area, but I do want to use that. This is becoming a very how do I put it, odd angles collage. If you know me, which you all do because you're my wonderful subscribers and followers, and welcome to anyone that's new, by the way, I like to tear things into rectangles or squares, and this just feels very odd for me just to be tearing pieces, which actually goes against kind of what I was planning to do with the stitching thing, doesn't it? So I'm going to tear this down so I've got some torn edges on it and see if I can get it in there. That's if I can tear it without destroying it. Sorry, silence, concentration needed. There you go, let's tear that bit off. So yes, I mean, are any of you likely to be going to Creativation? I only ask because although I know I've got followers and I see your names and stuff like that, that doesn't actually mean I know who you are and what you're involved with. I mean, you could be someone who makes cards in their basement once a year, or you could be a CEO of a huge corporation, and I wouldn't know, because to me you're just my friends and followers, so I don't know any background, so I don't know whether any of you... I do know actually some of you do have Etsy stores, so maybe you might be going to Creativation next year. I know Gail Augustinelli's, which is, we were planning, was it last year or the year before? I want to say it was the year before actually. We were planning to go to Creativation and meet up, and we were going to have lunch and a bit of a chat. I was even trying to convince Gail to let me do like a Facebook Live or something when we were together, just so that we got some time to share with our followers and share our followers with our followers. But the virus decided otherwise. Right, before I go any further, I need to have a look. Mushrooms. We've definitely got mushrooms. Illustration, got that. Zigzag, that's what I need to put on. Dried flowers, yes. Something loud, yes. Quote, that's coming up. So I've only really got the quote and the zigzag to get on here. And the more I look at this, the more I hate the thought of putting it on here. So it's not going to go on here. So I think that leaves me, let's just put the lid on the glue so it doesn't get thick and grungy. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some of the zigzag stitching on here. If I find out which one is the zigzag. It's that one there. Right. Oh, I must have used it before because it's coming off very easily. Now, let's turn this over. Come on. Right, a trick with picking up a rubber stamp with a block, by the way. Okay, if you've got a block and you place your thing down, the stamp down, if you place it down, you could potentially place it not how it was created. You could distort it. If you lay it down on a surface, the silicone will potentially find its own layer or direction and then pick it up. You've got more of a chance of getting it straight, although that bit at the top is not straight. Or is it not meant to be straight? Maybe it's not meant to be straight. Well, I'm going to straighten it up just ever so slightly. And also because silicone can be stretched, if you stretch it onto a block and it's an image, you could actually distort the image. So just be careful of that. Right, I'm using sepia because I didn't think black was what I wanted to do with this. And I'm going to do a bit of a test print onto my book page before I go on to here. And I just want to see what I'm actually dealing with. Yes, there you go. So anyone without a sewing machine, have a look around for stuff like this if you fancy the stitched effect. So now I need to get creative with where I place this. Now to me it's obvious it needs to go down the side of here. And I think I'm going to continue that down the side of that. There you go. I think I wanted to cross there, although this is where things could go wrong because this is a really curved surface, so I'm going to have to sort of roll it across the surface. Yeah, I managed to get that on there. That's a bit of a relief. I think I want a bit down there as well. I'm looking for the straight lines in this design now. As I said, I thought I was going to have lots of straight lines. I didn't get a lot of straight lines because I decided to tear everything, didn't I? Right, I'll put that bit there. I'll do that little bit going up there. I don't want to go around the entire thing. It's like that bit there is crying out for some and that bit there is crying out for some. But I just wanted to put some on this page somewhere. Right, I'm going to have to move this all the way to the edge. At the very, very edge. Hopefully I get a good enough stamp imprint on that. Yeah, the other person I'd love to be part of a design team for would be the Tim Holtz people or Ideology, but I couldn't offer them what you need to be one of their makers. I don't have the gift that those people have. Their makers already have. Seriously, as you've seen what they create. In my mind I could create some of that stuff, but I don't think I could. I'm absolutely certain I couldn't pull it off. Well, I think I want to stop by there, so I'm going to take my post-it. I'm going to take a post-it, and this is called masking. I'm just going to put that down there so the stitching only goes so far. Well, it went so far anyway because it didn't do it. Actually, let's see if I can just put another piece in there. That's the joy of the stitching stuff. You can literally stitch pieces together. There you go. So that's how I would do that. And I don't, actually maybe along there, just a little bit. And a little bit up there. You know, one of my followers said, Ceri, the thing I like about you is you know when to stop. Well, I guess I don't really know when to stop half the time. I just happen to grind to a halt. I think there's a difference between deciding to stop and running out of steam. I've done something to this finger. I don't know what I've done. I'm having sharp pains down here. I think I've twisted it or something. I don't know what I've done there. Let's keep an eye on that. It's a little bit painful. Right, where's the pack gone? Because I don't want to leave this silicone stamp out anywhere. Yeah, so the red stamps in here are definitely Stamperia, but I have no idea where the clear stamps come from. As you've heard me say in previous videos, I tend to take all my stamps out of my packaging, out of their packaging when they arrive, and then I'll take whatever elements I like from the stamp set and I'll keep, and then the rest I'll either donate to friends or I'll just put it into a thrift or a charity or a Goodwill shop as a sort of a stamping bundle, because I don't necessarily want to keep every single stamp just for the sake of keeping them. Just have a bit of a clean up on my stamp block over here. And I do that because otherwise I end up with clutter. And if I do it as soon as I get the stamp, or the stamp set, then I'm more likely to not hoard those stamps. Although I am quite good, I will only get rid of ones I truly don't, and under any circumstances, would ever use. Do you know what I mean? It's just, but if there's anything I might even use slightly an element of it, I will use. And sometimes I'll even take a scissors and snip out elements from an existing stamp to just keep a little piece of it. So yeah, I'm quite brutal with my stamps, and I do love stamps, but I got to the point years ago where I had a huge amount of stamps, and it was a case of, okay guys, we need to do something about this. Right, so have I got everything? I've got mushroom, illustration, zigzag, dried leaf, something loud. The quote is the only thing, and I already know I want to put these on this page somewhere. I quite like the idea that this little one has been stood up by somebody. And I quite like the moths only come out at night. I think moths only coming out at night wants to go up there. Let's tear this down to the bare minimum I can get this down to. A little bit of vintage photo around the edge. It's a bit lighter than the rest of the spread, so I might have to just run the blending tool over the top of this afterwards. Unsure about that. Yeah, I think if that goes there, I'll be happy. So let's just put that one on the page first. And then I'm going to look at the mushroom stamps that I have. Not stamps, mushroom stickers that I have here, and see if I do want to add any. I wonder if I want to go that way. I think I want to go that way. There's nothing like an impulsive change of mind, is there? That works for me. I don't mind that at all. So I just want to dirty that up just slightly. So we're looking very earthy tones. I will be going around the edge of this afterwards. I do quite like this saying as well, because it's sort of, for me, it sort of makes the reason why that person's sad. And I think down by there would work beautifully. Again, a little bit of vintage on the edge of this. Let's put that down and try and... Oh, there you go. I'm not getting enough on the edge there. And once it's on the page, it's too late to try and do the edges on these things. So, right, let's glue this one down. Yes, I don't really have a whole lot of other things to talk to you about, actually. It's like, as you know, I'm filming these ahead. So, for me, we only talked yesterday. Because I did 2 yesterday, I'm doing this one today. So not a lot has happened in the interim. I went to work last night. I worked a night shift, so it's, what's the time now? What is the time now? It's 3:10 in the afternoon, so I've only been awake about an hour and a half. So I think I'm doing pretty good functioning for someone who's just woken up, and I've had about 4 hours sleep. So hey ho, my life. So that's looking like that. Right, I wanted to look at stickers, didn't I? Now, let me have a little look. Right, so we've got this sticker. And yes, I do like that. I need to... These stickers are from a book called The Antiquarian, which is a sticker book I got on Amazon. Although what I've done is, for those of you who have that book, is I've actually fussy cut the sticker out of the sticker outline. Like each of the stickers has like a 2mm border around it in the colour of the page that it was upon, and it really bugs me. So I do sit down and then I actually just fussy cut only the stickers that I'm going to use. I mean, I certainly don't do that with every solitary sticker. I would be a little bit nuts. I don't mind that there. This one I feel doesn't need its edges done. Yeah, and I do tend to I do tend to glue these stickers because I've heard that they come unstuck. Not happened to me so far, but if someone somewhere has had a problem, then I don't need to have the same problem just because I've taken the attitude, oh, it'll never happen to me, because, you know, it could happen to you. This is definitely a mushroom page, isn't it? Right, I've got this little tiny one. I think I'm just going to sit it in there. It's just calling for a little touch of something growing out of the top of there. I like mushrooms. I like using mushrooms in my journals too. There you go, that's that one. I've got some more up here. See whether I can. I'm feeling this needs something there, and I'm thinking that if I put it to one side and snip it off the edge that sticks out, I think that will. It just feels like there's a bit there that needs a little bit of a look at. So just layering onto a sticker with another sticker basically, and it sits in there quite nicely. And if I come in with the old scissors and go snip, there you go. I like the way that looks. Right, have I got any more little mushrooms anywhere? I've got that little one. Maybe that little one needs to go down there. Well, I'm definitely going to town with the old mushrooms, aren't I? This is calling to me as if it needs something, and I'm wondering whether that's where I might put the moth. Although the moth is quite brightly coloured, and I'm beginning to think maybe it won't fit on this page. I mean, it would fit on the page, but not be within character on this page. That one can just pop in that corner. Right, I've successfully used all of the fussy cut labels I did. That was not my intent. I pulled out a few. I didn't expect to use them all. I like to pull out and prepare quite a few of them just so I've got options. Let's round that down. So there's a heck of a lot of mushrooms on there. As I said, I'm going to go around with vintage photo in a minute. Right, this was the moth. And actually, I don't mind it there. Because I was thinking I wanted to put it there, but I actually don't mind it there. I'm going to do it. My art, my way. That's what I say. I'm going to try and get a little bit of vintage on the edge of the wings of this, purely to outline it because it's got quite a light outline to it. And I might just like to give it a touch of definition. And we're going to see whether I can do this without snapping off its little antennae, which you've seen me do that before. I've de-antlered something, Gail. I've de-antlered something. Well, in fact, I ripped an entire bat's head off last week. Was it last week or the week before? I don't know. I did my Halloween spread. I took an entire bat's head away from itself. Right, let's get this as close to that corner as I can. There you go, because I didn't want to cover that up. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Right, yes, I do know when to stop when it comes to this. I do want to vintage photo it. I was thinking maybe I wanted to stencil some curls and swirls in there, but I think that would be overkill. I think I really need to just stop because I'm, as I said, really loving how this has turned out. And I think this bit of vintage photo will just give it that natural edge sort of thing. Sorry, I'm spinning this around in front of your eyes. Hopefully it's not disturbing anyone too much. Yes, I like how this one came together. Actually, it came together quite quickly too. Mind you, with my gossiping, it always takes a bit longer, but I've enjoyed this one. This has been a nice process to do. And this was number 48, so we've only got 4 more to go, guys. Wow. I am looking forward to when I sit down and actually go through the entire thing and have a look at the entire journey that we've been on. And I think it's not going to only be a journey, it's going to be possibly a development for me of what I've done. That really annoys me, there's bits of glue there. Actually, why am I worrying? It's supposed to be an earthy, grungy. I think we're going to leave that be. I think that's a done. That does annoy me. But the thing is, I know the more I work at it, the more it's going to be visible, so I need to stop. Right, okay, I think we're going to call that quits, guys. We're going to say that's done for number 48. All of the prompts are in there. We've got mushrooms, illustration, we've got zigzags, we've got a dried leaf, we've got something loud, and we've got quotes. I think we can tick that one as done. I hope you like that. That's quite, I mean, I seem to be diverging towards the end of this challenge into quite various different styles and bouncing around. I mean, who knows what the next one is going to be? I mean, I obviously don't look ahead, so I won't know until I finish filming this and I'll start pulling stuff out for the next filming session. I won't know what the prompts are on the next page, so I like that because then I don't tend to get distracted by the one ahead. So here we go. This is who I am. You've seen this 49 times now. But this is why I'd like you to like me, share me, subscribe me. Comments, fabulous, love them. Positive comments, even better. You'll see me, you'll find me. Well, you know where I am. You know who I am. By now you know very much who I am. And I am Ceri the Crafter. That's C-E-R-I the Crafter. And I'm signing off for this one. And I'll see you for number 49. Bye-bye now.